Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Pillai Center and Astrovid's Powertime practice here on Saturday morning in Eastern Standard Time. It is the 20th of January, 2018, and we're well into the start of a new year. So how are we all doing? In Powertime practice, we get to find out the latest and greatest teachings of Dr. Pillai and also help everyone here to navigate the courses that they're taking, or maybe they're participating in services that are offered through Pillai Center or Astrovid, and also to have a little experience like we did last Saturday. And this Saturday is all about creating the space for us to remove obstacles. So we want to get into a space of receptivity so that we can create that space. If we're not open to it, then we're going to create even more obstacles. So how do we get into creating a space? Well, space is really easy to access because it's all around us. It's in us, it's above us, it's below us, it's in front of us, it's behind us, it's all around. So space is available, readily available, and it's everywhere. So all we have to do is imagine ourselves as light particles or light beings. Everything in the universe, there's two principles. As I put up 4 fingers, there's 2 principles, light and sound. Everything evolves from light and sound. So as the Bible says, and as all the scriptures say, the word is with God, and then when God says something, it appears, it comes to light. So we want to be able to shed light on that space, which we can see where the obstacles are, and then ask the divine to come in and remove those obstacles. So why today? Well, today is because we have a 4th moon, and this is in Eastern Standard Time, and we have an Astrovid calendar that you can buy or purchase on Astrovid, and then they send it to you. And why we follow this calendar is because this is what Powertime practice is all about. It's getting into the space of time. So time is thought, time is karma, time is energy, and time is what we all love to have, money, right? Without money, we won't be able to navigate this earth plane very well. So we need to have that currency so we can go along the stream of life merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream. Right? So we want to have Ganesha's blessings today. He's an elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly, and he rides a mouse. And some of us may think that is a bit strange, and for sure it is, because we don't necessarily see that in our everyday life. But that's okay, because we're not here to just be following what is the reality of our everyday life, because that's what we do automatically. So there's something behind what is going on in our everyday life. And Ganesha is an archetypal being, and he has an energy to remove obstacles. So we're going to do a practice where we take a coconut, and this coconut, as you can see, it has the 2 eyes here, and then the one up here, and it represents our own 2 eyes and then our 3rd eye. So this, you can say that this is a surrogate technology, as Dr. Pillai shares, and it is going to take your karma, take the slow time, take the obstacles, take the delays, take all the negativity that you've absorbed over the week, or if you're new to the teachings until now, all the negative energy until now. Wow, that's going to be a great karma busting experience. So you just take this coconut, because it is a fourth moon and Ganesha's energy is available on a fourth moon. We take this coconut in our right hand and we just can put it on our eyes and imagine the karma that we see every day. So we don't like what we see. We see our relationships, they're messed up, we're arguing all the time, or we're sad, or we're depressed, or we don't have a relationship, or it's just so dysfunctional we don't even know how to resolve any of our issues. And all the counseling in the world and all the therapy in the world and all the self-help books and all the mantras that we've been doing and everything else is not working up until this point. So we think and so we say. What a silly thing to do, right? Because right there, we're creating a block. So never mind all that. That is going to go on. Don't make it your mind and it won't matter. So you just take this and you put it on your eye so that you change what you see in your life. And this is going to be through the surrogate technology that is Ganesha. Ganesha is the coconut. So he's going to absorb, and you imagine, just imagine things getting sucked out of your eye. So you can put it on your right eye. And then you can take the coconut. If you don't have a coconut, you can just imagine it. And if you are here watching, you can watch it. And imagine the coconut being on your eye. Maybe put your hand there. Imagine your hand being a coconut. So this coconut now is going to go into your left eye. And what you want to feel as it goes from eye to eye is that the opposite side of your brain gets activated, mostly. Because the eyes are just these extensions of, they're jelly, balls of jelly in your eye sockets, and then they are extensions of the retina and the retinal nerves, and then they are the optical nerves, and then they cross over, and then they innervate the brain, and the brain sends feedback to the eyes again. So you have this projection of your life going forward through your eyes. So keep visualizing as the coconut is absorbing the energy that has been coming from the eyes and in the brain. So you can do that as long as you want, because the eyes will take in most of the karma. Eyes will go and seek out whatever it is that you want to do in life. And then you'll end up going and doing it, and you're just like, why am I doing this? Don't look at it anymore. Just turn away from it, right? Why are you arguing? Turn away from the argument. Zip it. So zip, you can put it on your mouth. So you put the coconut on the mouth, and if you have any dental issues or if you have any challenges with things that you've said in the past that you aren't so happy about, then you can ask the coconut to take that and then take it from the tongue. You don't have to stick the coconut on your tongue, although you might want to do that to get the full effect. But you can just imagine it absorbing whatever is going on inside the mouth. Maybe you need to watch what you're eating. Eat more nutritious food, more supportive food, higher energy food. And guess what? You'll feel higher energy. If you have addictions to food or alcohol or cigarettes or drugs or whatever it is, or you have codependent relationships and you just are addicted to those emotions, that is all coming through the mouth. When we're not in a good mood, what do? We go get comfort food, or we call our favorite person who will listen to our crap and gossip and all the rest of the poison. And then they give us some of theirs. So we're taking it in. We all do it. Don't worry about it. Just use the coconut. Ganesha, please help me. You absorb, take this, absorb it, and then go to the ears. So everything we listen to. And then the ear is associated with this lobe right here, just above the ear, the temporal lobe. Temporal lobe is what we remember. Because everything that's been said, it goes in and then it gets stored and we remember, and then we pull it forward, and it's not relevant because it's from the past. So then you take it and put it on the other ear. And you don't just want to hang out there. You want to listen. So you want to be doing this, although I'm talking because it's a teaching component. You want to be doing this while you are just taking only a minute or two. And then you're listening for that space. What is being said in the space? What are your thoughts are racing all the time, memories are coming up. It's just what's in that gap, the space. And then maybe a physical sensation will be in any of these sensory organs that we are absorbing. The energy. If you're not on mute, please mute. Thanks. Okay. So we've got the eyes, you've got the mouth, the tongue, the lips, the 2 ears, and then so what are you smelling? I mean, smelling is a really strong memory, isn't it? When we think, oh, smelling grandma's cookies, or something that you smell that's really repulsive, what does it do to you? It rocks your whole body, mind and soul, right? So you can just clean that up. And then you can, because the prana, the life force energy comes through the nostrils. So it comes up the nostrils, and where does it do? Where it meets, it hits the third eye. It hits the spot between the 2 eyebrows. So you can just imagine the prana, the life force, that vitality, not just the oxygen that we breathe in and the carbon dioxide we breathe out and all the rest of the stuff that we breathe in and out. It's not that breathing process so much. It's the breath, the holy breath, the energy that is behind the air breathing, the nostril breathing, and also the mouth breathing, the lung breathing. So we've gone from the eyes, and then the mouth, and the ears, the nostrils, and then you can just go straight to the third eye. So you can just hold it at the third eye, and you're just holding it, and then you're just imagining the suction from the middle of your brain. It's being sucked out, whatever energy needs to be sucked out gets put into the coconut. And then you can go on your right brain and on your left brain and the back of the brain. But you can take the coconut now and just roll it. You just roll it so that it is taking all the energy that is bombarding your brain, that is in the space around you, that is thought forms that are coming in, and they're ready for your brain to grab onto these thought forms. And you just make it so that it's real. But then with the coconut, it's going to say, no way. I don't want all these thoughts. I only want the thoughts that I need in the exact moment that I need them. So after you do that for some time, then you can put it right on your throat. So you can feel the negativity, the karma is stored in the throat. when we do Tirnila Kantam. Kantam means throat. Nila means blue. Tiru is grace. It's a sacred acknowledgement. So for the being who will take the karma, and then he will it's Lord Shiva. And so Lord Shiva he's the blue being, and he has a blue throat. And he takes the karma of the people. If you call on him and you use that mantra, if you're calling on Ganesha, he's going to absorb it, so take it out of you with the coconut. And so you can just do that for some time, put it on your shoulders. I'm not sure if who's manning the mute button, but that would be great. And so then you'd put it on your shoulders, you're rolling it on your shoulders. And then you can roll it down the rest of your body. You can put it on your heart center. And then you can also put it in your belly. Why in your belly? Because that's where you want to create. So the energy, you just imagine this coconut in your belly and taking all the negativity in the abdominal region. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because we take in what food, or we take in words, or we push words down. So it's got all this energy is congesting us. And then we swallow it, and we digest it, and we absorb it. We even say those kinds of things. Let me digest that for a little while. That's something else that someone else said to you. That's okay. You can do that, but then you've got to take care of it energetically. You've got to get rid of it. So this is the technology. This is a surrogate technology to get rid of that. And then what you do is, as you're doing it, you're absorbing it, you can say gum, gum, gum. And or you can say Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, because that's his sound, that's his key word, that will bring in the intelligence. Remember, two principles in the universe and inside of everything on this earth plane, including us, is light and sound. So we have, this is the intelligence, this is the light, and the sound that comes with that or activates it is Gum, G-U-M. And you can just say that, gum, gum, gum. Before you even get off the bed, say gum. Say gum many times before you get off the bed. And then you will get the blessings of Ganesha. So why I'm going so slowly is because I'm asking this divine being to come and absorb all the negativity that's in the space of this call. And in the space of this call, then that will ripple out into your life. So remove all obstacles in the space of this call, and also in your life hereafter. So what do you do with this afterwards? You take this coconut and you can smash it. I won't do that right now, but what we'll do is, or when you get a coconut, if you can, or just a virtual coconut, imagine it happening. And we'll do that in our meditation. Imagine this coconut, it's so hot now, it's taken in so much heat, so much karma, so much obstacles, it's going to burst. And then you go out and you smash it. Be careful where you do that. Be kind and be respectful of your neighbors. And also you don't want to bring too much attention to you when you're doing that. So be very practical doing it. And there's someone, ST, can you please mute yourself? Or Radha, if you can, please stay on and do that. Thank you. So this, how you can do this to make sure that you don't make a big mess, is you can put it in one of those plastic, what do you call those, grocery bags, you know, that you get from the grocery store. And then you can just put it in that plastic bag and take it and smash it. And then it's all in the bag. Maybe take a couple of bags and double bag it. But this will do you a world of good. And why today? Because this is the day to do it. This is the day where Ganesha is, like, you just opened the door and your guest came, and they're going to have a good experience with you, or maybe you need a friend to help you to, you know, do whatever it is that you need to do. So Ganesha's energy will be readily available today. So don't miss out on that. I've gone slow enough that you will understand now the importance of taking this coconut and absorbing your karma. Because if you keep saying to yourself, my life is not changing, then you haven't done enough coconuts. I've done thousands over the years, and many of us have. And this is a great technology, because therapy can't do it, medicines can't do it, and everything else that we've learned isn't doing it. So this, we have to take it to a higher intelligence. So this higher intelligence is Ganesha. And with Dr. Pillai's blessings, we get to just do it, and he's already empowered that within us, because at the level of the soul, we've come across Dr. Pillai's teachings. So it's at the level of the soul. We think, oh, well, we found him on YouTube, or someone told us about him, or we met him in person, or we took a course. That's of the human way of coming across the teachings. But the soul knows, and the soul knew that the teachings of Dr. Pillai were going to be the teachings that are going to help the people who come, the souls who come, and then the soul is covered by the people who are going to come and get this training in this technology and relief. So you will feel tremendous relief. Some people cry. Some people are so overwhelmed. Their whole being is just, you know, so great. You feel so grateful because it's so simple. You know, and I go to the grocery store and I go, oh man, I gotta buy a coconut business, because it's they're pretty expensive here. They're like $3 these days, but that's okay. I would rather pay $3 than go to Starbucks and pay $3, right? So use your time, money, and energy wisely. This is a good use of your time, money, and energy. I'm just fixing my hair because I had a coconut Ganesha moment. So, yeah, someone here is saying, Radha is sharing, I ordered coconut smashing by proxy in India. It's called the Emergency Karma Clinic. And they'll smash 1,000, is it 1,000 or 1,008 coconuts on your behalf? And it's very worth it. So Radha did it by proxy. I've done not 1,008 by proxy, but I've been in India and have smashed 1,008. And they bring a truckload of these coconuts. And then they say, okay, one by one, here you go. It takes so long. You have to ask the guys to come and help you. And then they come and they help you to smash the coconuts. And you're just praying, you know, smash all my financial karma, smash my relationship karma, smash all the problems with my health. I don't even know what the health issues are going to be. I do know that it's a given as a human being that we are going to have health issues. And as we age, as we get into those, you know, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and so on, the body is breaking down and there's nothing we can do about it. We can try all the health techniques, but what if we have a karma from a previous lifetime that is going to come at that certain age, 50, 60, 70, any age, 40, 30, 20, 10, any age, the karma is just going to come. Then you just do the coconut, right? On these fourth moons, waxing, waning, and also 14th moons are great too, to smash the karma. So you have 4 times a month you can be doing this. And then because it's divine, it doesn't, it's not limited to slow time. It won't just go by, okay, well, you have to wait until someday. If you get the divine on your side, then things will happen a lot faster. So breaking the coconut is really powerful. Another powerful thing to do this week is in a couple of days after, it's a 6th moon, and it's called Shasti. Shasti means 6, and it means that Lord Muruga, so Ganesha's brother, he's got, I have a little statue of him. Wasn't sure if he was going to come out, but he is. So this is Muruga, and he has a peacock here. And he also is associated with a rooster in some depictions, this particular statue. Look at him, he's so happy. I'm happy to see you. And he has a spear, it's a veil. And this spear or veil is a sacred weapon in that it's like a psychic tool that will destroy karma, maya, ego, illusory forces, and all the negativity coming from the planets. In fact, there's a hymn in Tamil that says, hey, Lord Muruga, a saint is singing it. And he's saying, I don't have to worry about any planetary problems if you're going to be blessing me. So Lord Muruga's energy is readily available on the 6th moons, on Tuesdays, and on star days that are associated with Lord Muruga, which is Vishaka and Kritika stars. So you can look in the calendar and see what those days are. Maybe someone can post it on the chat. But so what do we want to do? So again, we don't even have to know any mantras. We don't have to know about all the mythology, and although you'll want to get interested in it, because when you know the myths are true forever. They're eternal. So that's what we want to do, is we want to get into eternal time. We don't want to get into slow time. So eternity means that the energy of eternity is so powerful. It's the space that we can get our head into, that headspace, or we get into that headspace of eternity. And then all these divine beings will be there because they're eternal. They're forever. And then mantras are there forever. So mantras are powerful sounds, divine sounds that never, they never dissolve. They don't go away. English or any language that you speak, it gets modified. And there's so many different things and short forms, and it just over the centuries, over history, it changes anyways. And even if I'm speaking English and someone down the street is speaking English, it could be communicating, we're not really understanding each other, right? But the sounds that are eternal, the mantras, they are the being. They are those divine beings. So they don't change. And it doesn't matter really how you pronounce their name or their mantra. Although some texts say and some people say that, yes, you should pronounce it in such and such a way. And that's fine. Although when you're with a divine being like Dr. Pillai, who knows at the level of the soul, this is all just makeup and cover up. So whatever everyone is saying, that's just being put onto you. And that's okay. It might penetrate and it might resonate as truth, and that's fabulous. And let that truth grow, because truth is the soul and the soul is eternal. So we want to get rid of stuff that doesn't serve the soul anymore and isn't in alignment with eternity, so that as we're going along in time, then we can be hooking up with those divine beings who are totally eternal, and they bring us joy and happiness because things happen fast in a miraculous way. So how we can use surrogate technology with Lord Muruga is we can take a lime. And then you take this lime and you can do the same thing. So you put it on the eyes, you put it on the ears, you put it on the mouth, the nose, the throat, can put it on the shoulders, and then you can put it on, go around your head, and then you can just put it on the third eye, put it on your heart, and anywhere on the body. Roll it everywhere. This is much easier to roll around than the coconut. That's okay. It has tremendous ability to absorb the negativity in Lord Muruga's name. You can also do a lime today if you can't get a coconut wherever you are in the world. It's not possible, and you can get a lime. Then that can be a surrogate for Ganesha's coconut as well. So the lime you can use for Lord Muruga. And what else do you want to do with it? You want to take this veil, and you want to just make a little slit. I did it beforehand so all the juice went and squirt all over the place. So you just take it and you just make it to go in. And just as I'm doing this now, oh, look at, there's some nasty karma. So just push it in, and don't use this because it's pretty, the stem, because it's pretty fragile. So you want to just push it in, and you don't have to shove it in all the way. But that's, just doing that will make you to feel so relieved energetically and one-pointed in your focus. Because that's what we pray to Ganesha for, or sorry, to Lord Muruga for, is to bring that one-pointed focus of energy. And then you can see Pillai Center or Ashurved, they offer these copper veils. So you can do that, use a copper veil. And then if you participate in rituals or services offered at Pillai Center Ashurved, sometimes they send you these crystal veils. These are kind of cool, because you can just have them in your hand, you know, and that energy in your hand, because the hand has this tremendous chakras, right? And then you can just be activating those chakras, and then that gets fed back up to the brain. So it cleanses the brain. So all this technology is helping you to think differently. It's helping you to have higher vibrating thoughts, to clear out negative, congested, low vibrating energy. So we'll do a meditation today where we're going to practice putting the veil into us, this image of the veil. And this image of the veil is, this is your backbone. So you're going to imagine the shaft of the veil as your backbone, and then it's coming up, and then the head of the veil is going to be the third eye. And the third eye is the portal to the eternity, to these divine beings. And then the tip of the veil, the spear, it pierces. So from the midbrain, you have the crown chakra. So it's going to pierce the crown chakra. And that's where we want to be. We want to be at that highest level of spiritual progression from internally. So we go from the lower chakras all the way up, and we get into the Sahasrara, which is the crown chakra. And the crown chakra pumps in divinity into our brain. So we want to have that experience of the divine coming from the base of the spine, which is Ganesha's energy, coming up through Muruga's energy, and then putting this consciousness within us, so that we always have the chakras that are aligned along the spine. They're always in proper alignment, going straight up. And then we have the midbrain that is being activated and opened up because it's being pierced. And then it's activating the third, or the crown chakra. So that is, you know, a description of the technology, and then also what it can do inside of us. So hopefully that has been helpful. Now, what we want to do today, especially as well, is we have this here, which is it's just, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, now you can maybe. This is a Saturn lamp, and it has sesame oil, and it has black sesame seeds, and it has a cotton wick as well as an Eruku wick, E-R-U-K-K-U. And this is going to give you blessings from Lord Saturn. So that's nice to get those blessings too. And you don't have to do anything. Again, you just use this technology and you just have it there. And if you know the mantra, that's fine. I'll say it for you so you do have it. So this is the black sesame seeds are here. That's what they look like. And you can purchase them at any, maybe a grocery store in the international food section, or at an Indian grocery store. They have it. And then you grab the sesame oil and just put it in a dish. You can just have the cotton wicks. You don't have to have the Eruku wick. I'll show you the Eruku wick because people were asking me about it. You can get this through Pillai Center or Astrovet sometimes. These are like, I've had a whole stockpile of them. When I go to India, I grab them. And why the Eruku wick? Because the Eruku wick is associated with Ganesha and also Shiva and also the 9 planets. So it's a great negativity buster. So this, if you have a lot of negativity, or depressed, or just frustrated, or angry, you can use this. It does, and it will burn. This lamp that I just showed you, it will burn all day long. And then what I do is I take this Eruku wick, because you can kind of see it's kind of like straw. And then you just take your cotton wick, and then you can just roll it around, twist it. So you're making it to go around the Eruku like that. And then you dip it in. Once you dip it in the oil, then it settles, and then you just kind of press it together. And then you can just stick it in the dish, which is usually a metal dish. I wouldn't use glass because fire and glass, it can explode. So you want to just be safe. So it's just a brass dish or any metal type dish. Or if you have a lamp, if you use a ghee lamp, you can use the lamp as well. There's one on, that's a ghee lamp on the altar or the fireplace behind me. And that, the gods love that. So that's why we use these different oils, is because these different oils will be the energy source for the divine being to come. Just like food is for us, it's our energy source. It's the food of the gods. So the ghee is universal. They all love it. However, Saturn loves sesame and the black sesame seeds, and then the black sesame oil. They also call it gingerly oil. And then this black sesame seeds, if you go to an Indian store and they don't understand black sesame seeds, you say til. So you can ask them for til, T-I-L or T-I-L-L. Correct me if I'm wrong, if someone knows the proper spelling. So that is something that is readily available, and we can just use that technology and then just have that in our space and do our mantra practice. And we've taken care of the main power time archetypes or deities of today. And then the fourth moon, Ganesha, or you can use the lime. And then you want to go to the sixth moon day, which is Muruga, and you take the lime and you put the veil in there. That's it. And then you can, today also, because it's a Saturday, then you just light your oil lamp, the sesame oil lamp. And then if you have a statue of Ganesha, or a statue, if you have a statue of Ganesha or a statue of Lord Muruga, then you can just simply, here's a statue of Ganesha. This is a crystal one. I love this guy. And then you just can take a little bit of water, just like this, and you just Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Gum, 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 gum. That's it. And then he's energized in the statue, and then the energy starts to come up for you, because his energy is at the base of your spine. So the base of your spine gets opened up. It opens up, and then everything rushes up, and like the veil, it rushes up. That's why Ganesha and Muruga, they're brothers, right? In the archetypal mythology. But then in the body part, you can experience that. Get into the space of them. Get aligned with the space, their energy in your own space called you. So you have Ganesha at the base of the spine, and then it's coming up. And then it's lighting up the midbrain. And guess who's there as well? In the midbrain, not only the veil, but Ganesha is there, because Ganesha has to open up the brain. He has to remove the obstacles to open up the portal of that is the midbrain, the third eye, and the third eye is the all-knowing. And the all-knowing, you can see on this veil, it's a little bit spotty because it was in the lime, but you can see there's a Tamil Om. So the shape of the Om in Tamil script is there. It's inscribed. So I don't know if you can see it better, that a little bit. So the Om is associated with Ganesha. It's also associated with Lord Muruga and Shiva. So these entities, these archetypal energies, are part of eternity, and they're also part of us. This is the technology to access it. This is the archetype speak, if you want to put it that way. So that energy is available. And then if you want to pray to Shani, who is Saturn, he's the overlord of Saturday. Shanicharaya. Shani is the name for Saturn, and then Shanicharaya is the seed sound for calling on his energy. And why do we want to call on his energy? Because he puts us on the spiritual path, and he also makes us to work, take action in our life. So a lot of people say, oh, nothing's happening for me, or I'm so depressed, and so on. And it must be because I have an afflicted Saturn, or Saturn is bad in my chart, or I'm going through some Saturn time. Listen, Saturn gives you tremendous peace. Saturn gives you compassion. Saturn gives you persistence, patience. Saturn gives you endurance. Saturn gives you strength to work, to do something, to take action every day. So it's not about Saturn. It's about you paying attention to Saturn. So again, these divine beings are coming through these celestial energies. And the celestial energies are hitting our brain and our body and telling us something. Hey, look it, you're doing stuff that is no longer serving you. That's Saturn's job. He will just rip away stuff that is no longer serving your highest and best. So if you wonder why, oh my God, all of a sudden I lost my job or my relationship, it wasn't going to take you, it wasn't going to support you on your spiritual journey in a way that is going to be fulfilling and rewarding for you in the long term. That's Saturn. He's the guy for the whole a long time. So he travels through each sign 2.5 years to 3 years, and then he takes about 29 years to get around the whole zodiac. So look at your life just now, do a little math and go backwards about 27, 28, 29, 30. So use 30 as a marker, because it's easier for some of us when we can do it a couple of times. So you go back in time and you say from the start to 30, or around 27, 28, 29, 30. You go to that age and you just see all your life where you're loaded with responsibilities. You had to make big decisions that would determine what was going to happen in a long time from then, right? And then what did you do? Who were you then? And then you can, if you've reached the 27, 28, 29 mark, so that's, again, that would be a full rotation of another Saturn going around the zodiac for another 29 years. Now, in between, it gives about 7.5 years. Every 7.5 years, it's going to have an impact on the chart. And depending on where your ascendant is, your moon sign is, your sun, those are really important influences, planetary influences. The ascendant is that which was on the horizon when you were born. And so you want to, that's kind of like your personality, who you are. Then the moon is how you think, and the sun is your soul. So it makes sense that whenever a planet is transiting, especially Saturn, he's going to just do some grinding. He's going to purify. He's going to want to take care. So the 7.5 years around those planets or planetary influences is going to be a little bit intense. Let's just say it that way. So it's going to be this energy that is like, whoa, I feel like I have a gray cloud on me, a dark cloud on me, and I just can't even think straight. So then on a Saturday, if you're going through that, you know that because you've had an astrology consultation or you've read up on astrology and you can kind of figure it out yourself. I would recommend, and Dr. Pillai highly recommends, that you get a Vedic astrology consultation, because that, even if you know your birth chart, you may not know how planetary transits are impacting you at any given point in time. So you might have a good setup, but then it can be like the weather, where it's changing and it's not ideal conditions, or all of a sudden you have an accident. And then it impacts every area of your life, depending on what happens. Or you have a illness or a disease. Everything changes, right? So you want to get on Saturn's good books, because anything that happens due to Saturn, it will take you some time to come out of it, and will be pretty intense. So you want it to just give you peace, not just give you peace. God, wouldn't it be great if we had peace every single moment? Yeah, Saturn will do that for you. So be propitiating Saturn. And then I'm going to just show you a statue here. I'll just turn this a little bit. Oh, there's Dr. Pillai. And I'll tell you a little bit more. And you can see there is this huge statue this is Lord Hanuman. He is the overlord of Lord Saturn, who is lying down here. So he's the one who can control Saturn. So this came in one of the offerings throughout the Pillai Center. It's huge, like you can see. It's as big as my arm, you know. So it's quite heavy. That's why I can't hold it up. I have held it up before in other calls, but so you want to get the blessings of Lord Saturn and then also Lord Hanuman on a Saturday because Lord Hanuman will do the impossible for you. And that's what people who say, oh, you know, I have this terrible Saturn. It's not about terrible Saturn. It's about you've got to pay some karma back and he's helping you to remove stuff that is not serving you. So you just have to say thank you to him. It's just like a mother or a father would say to the child, you know, this isn't good for you. And the child is kicking and screaming. And then it finds out, oh, yeah, they were right. You know, or, you know, bring it up to speed as an adult, you know, someone will give you some advice. And then you'll just say, oh, well, whatever. I'm not going to listen to them. They don't know me. They don't, you know, and that's fine. But then you just look back to that time where they gave you that advice. And as you went through your thing, you thought, oh my God, they were so right. So this is the life. We all want to experience whatever we want to experience. The soul comes to do that. So that the simple technologies that Dr. Pillai shares with us, we can do it every day. It's accessible. And if you say, well, I won't get coconuts, then like Radha says, go break coconuts on Ashravet. They'll do it for you. Or you can go to a temple in your local area, and then you can go and ask them to break coconuts. So they will do it for you and in honor of Ganesha. And then you can use the lime and the spear or the veil. VEL is this divine weapon of Murga. And then pray to Lord Hanuman. His divine tool is a gadha, and it's like a club. I don't have a little one handy, and again, I'll just show you his picture, his statue, because he wants to see you. So the flower is covering it up. This is the gadha. So the gadha is like this big club, and it's a divine club, and it will just, even just looking at it, it makes you to, it absorbs the negativity. And some of you might be thinking, oh, you know, what is she talking about? Do the thing. Don't ask me what I'm talking about. Just go do the thing and you'll find out yourself, because it's a spiritual tool. It's going to do what it needs to do for you, just like it does for me and everyone else who follows this technology. So Saturn, what does he like? He likes the black sesame and seeds and the the sesame oil as a lamp, and you just burn it. And if you have a Saturn affliction, burn the lamp every day. Buy a big bottle of sesame oil and black sesame seeds, and then just sprinkle it. Do it every day. Have it burning every day. And then you'll start to feel peace and clarity. And then things will start to move. And you'll start to move, because you're stuck when you're in this frustration rut and depression and so on. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go get counseling and support. That is necessary. In fact, a lot of times Dr. Pillai will say, and even when I'm sharing with people, advising them, I will say, you know, maybe you should get some counseling. Maybe you should talk to someone, because it sounds like you need clarity around your situation, and your family members aren't helping you out, or your friends, they're getting too much into the gossip. So you want to go talk to someone who's neutral. You know, can be a psychologist, can be someone who's a counselor at your church or your temple or whatever community centers that will support your community support groups, self-help groups. So many people on the spiritual path have gone through these kinds of support groups that help to make them to feel like, okay, you're going to be fine, you're going to make it. And then you can just do your spiritual practices as well. And that will really help to accelerate the payback from some of their lifetime, right? So you never know when karma is coming, because karma is thought. So the thoughts are going to come, they're going to come out of nowhere, seemingly. The thoughts will make the action happen. Now, did you want to go and get in an accident or get a disease? No, but you had a thought that was strong enough in a previous lifetime that it pierced through the timeline, and boom, it wants to happen at that particular time. So you don't have to open the door, or you can open the door and then you can just have all these divine archetypes that are going to be there, like your army of help. And then they will just get you through that time period, because karma is time-based. So get you through that time period, that window of time with karma light. So it will touch you, you'll see it, you'll be around it, but it won't go deep in and manifest as something really debilitating. So again, if you're going through challenges, then and you can't resolve them, then use the technology that we just shared and do that for some time. Get an astrology consultation with, let's say, okay, it's going to be a few months or it's going to be a year. You just keep doing this technology, because it's going to just keep the, keep the walls of, keep all the negativity out of you. Right? It's going to keep you in alignment with your highest self, your divine self. And then all that negativity that's going to try and come into your brain and bombard you and make you to do things that you wouldn't do. And to be unclear. If you have no clarity, if you're unclear, you're congested in your energy, and you are, negative, and everything is happening is slow, and it's drudgery and so on. It's low vibrating. So you want to get high, right? You want to have that connection to the divine. So this technology will help you to keep doing that. So the Shivaratri is coming up, and that someone has posted here on the chat, and that is coming up in February. So we'll talk more about that at that time. But Shivaratri is happening every 14th moon anyways. The Maha means great, Shivaratri. Shivaratri, Ratri means night, Shiva is the ultimate being. Why? Because she and Va, she is masculine energy, Va is feminine energy. So those energies are totally balanced. When you can immerse yourself in Shiva consciousness. So the right and the left brain are balanced, the right and the left side of the body are balanced. Everything is balanced in this unit called you. And then everything is in balance in the world. And everything is in balance in the universe. So Shiva is, those are the two sounds that will do it all. God, goddess, right? So it's quite simple, but not easy to understand, because it's multi-layered, right? And our consciousness can't grasp, even if we know all this stuff in a theoretical sense, how to experience it, how to practice it, how to understand at a soul level. Because who knows how to talk to the soul? Well, we just did some things that help us to talk to the soul. Strange as they may be, try them out, and you'll see they will become your best friends. They won't be strangers anymore. So Shivaratri, the great night of Shiva, Mahashivaratri, is coming up in February, and it is a time where you can get a fresh start in life. So it's once a year, and we're honoring that universal intelligence that makes up everything and keeps everything into balance. So prosperity and enlightenment are there for you during that night vigil. So we'll get into the details more about that as we go along. It's a good heads up. My Shivaratri experiences, my God, I can't even get into that topic right now because it's not Shivaratri. So Shivaratri is coming up, and just as I said, it's a great night to participate in those in that ceremony, and you can do it by proxy, which I would recommend if you can't be going to a temple either in your hometown or in India, if that's your hometown, or you're going to travel to India. But it will take you to these great heights. And because you're studying with Dr. Pillai, or you're under his tutelage, whether you know it or not, whether you're just here finding out about it, at the soul level, you're thirsty for this knowledge. So he knows what the soul wants. And at this point in time, we have the technology to bring our souls together and get this information, food for the soul. So I'll just share one experience because it just came to me. I was in a temple with Dr. Pillai, and it was in Chidambaram temple, and I can't remember what year it was. And there was hundreds of thousands of people. It was just because it's a great night to celebrate in the temples in India, and especially the Chidambaram temple is this temple that's this sacred temple for Shiva that represents the element of the Akash. The Akashic records, we've heard of that, right? The Akashic records are where every thought that any human being had, any time, gets stored. So all the thoughts in that space, are coming and they're bombarding us. So how to change the karma is to just go into the night of Shiva, and then he will get rid of the Akashic records where you messed up. And it's going to come sometime as the pages of your life turn, right? The pages turn, the chapter changes. The characters change or they remain the same, but stuff happens, good or bad. So Lord Shiva will he'll just root out all the stuff that is not, forget about it. You don't have to suffer through that. So that's why you go on the great night of Shiva, you participate in it, because at the level of the soul, you don't know what you wrote. You don't know what is going to come and bombard you from the ether. And it's just not going to come from the heavens above. So you can just go hide somewhere below. You can't hide because it's the space within you is also part of the ether. It's the Akash within you. So I was in this temple in Chidambaram with Dr. Pillai and a few other people. We were just kind of weaving our way through the crowds. And we always have some, when you're traveling with Dr. Pillai, there's always some police escort or some authority of the temple who is parting the sea of the people. So it's quite unique in that respect too, because you just feel so privileged and so special to be with, and so honored to be with Dr. Pillai. And he just moves through the crowd like as if the sea is parting, and it does with grace and ease. Like this is like a mosh pit at that time. It's not that people are like going crazy, but there's just a lot of people. And they're chanting and they're getting into a religious fervor and they're having their spiritual experiences, their Kundalini experiences. And sometimes it's out of control and they go to a temple and they're not used to that kind of energy coming in at that time. And they are exposed to it and they're crying and they don't understand what is going on with them. You know, or they have a lot of energy and they're just really hypersensitive, and someone cuts them a dirty look or goes in front of them and they start fighting. Like can be pretty intense. It doesn't get out of control ever, but it can happen, right? And everyone knows that, my God, that person's really having you know, an intense experience. So stuff was going on, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, and it's loud, and the bells in the temple are ringing, and you hear the chanting, and it's just loud. It's very loud, and hot. And I mean, India is hot, but sometimes around in February it's okay. It's not too hot. It's tolerable. But it's in the temple when all this religious fervor is going on, and the chanting and so on, the ceremonies that are being done, the abhishekam, it's just overwhelming, and the bells and everything, and your head is just pounding, and you're trying to just stay close. So that was my experience. All of a sudden, we came to this, it wasn't quiet, but it was peace. Like there was a little spot where he had picked, or the divine had said, hey, come bring your little group here and it'll be quieter. So we were there, and then Dr. Pillai had said, now just listen to the bells. And then he started singing a chant in Tamil, calling on Lord Shiva. And the sanctorium where they were doing all the main ceremonies, we hadn't even approached that yet. But we were just in this little space, and just opened up everything. I was crying, I was laughing, I was upset. I had all this myriad of emotions and memories, and it was just like I was pulling everything out of me, and the Akash was bombarding me and saying, hey, you want this? And I'm like, nah, I don't even know. I was so overwhelmed. But my heart was beating, my physical heart was beating. I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna pass out. It's so hot, it's so intense. And when you're with Dr. Pillai, because you're there with him to evolve, whether you know it or not, you are. And he just cranks up your soul to see the highest it can go in its evolution. And because the time-space continuum is supporting it, then, you're going to be okay. And it was very exhausting, but very purifying me. And by the time we got to the sanctum, where it's so loud, I didn't hear a sound. It was as if all my sensory organs had shut down from that level of hypersensitivity and just overwhelm, that I was totally in my inner world, in peace and calm and eye of the storm. That's how it felt, like the eye of the storm. So it's so palpable to be with Dr. Pillai in a place like a temple in India during Mahashivaratri, when it's totally mayhem, and not in a bad way. It's just so overwhelming, and you don't even know if you can handle it, because your soul is growing and growing, and it's busting through all the barriers, all the internal barriers that you don't even know you have. So that was an experience that I had. So someone, Chia is saying, I suggested 2 weeks in a row on these broadcasts. Maybe she will lift up one more time before the show ends today. What am I lifting up? Okay, make sure that when you're posting a note on chat that I understand what you're doing. We'll get back to you, or you get back to me. So that's my feedback about Shivaratri. I recommend it, highly, highly recommend it. And if you can't go to India at this point in time, then to a temple and go experience it, immerse yourself in it. Then you can do it by proxy, and you will immerse your soul in it, because your soul will be in the ceremony. That's the magic of being on the spiritual path with Dr. Pillai. It's like you don't have to think. In fact, if you do think, then you're there and you're blocking it. So just know that your soul is getting what it needs for its evolution, and then that's going to grow. That consciousness is going to grow. And then if you can do a ritual at home, we'll do that on one of these calls so that you know what to do on Shivaratri. And if Shivaratri is coming close, it looks like it's on the 13th of February. Oh, right around Valentine's Day. So that happens to be at the beginning of a week here in Eastern Standard Time. So we'll prepare you on the Saturday so that you are ready to go, and then you can do a ritual at home and have the conversation. Oh, okay, Chia, the Saturn bowl. You wanted the Saturn bowl again? Okay, I'll give you the Saturn bowl. We'll give you an up close and personal. Okay, so there's the Saturn bowl. That is Saturn. It's not a bowl, it is Saturn. There's a flower. Saturn likes purple flowers, so you can give him a purple flower. If you don't have a statue, you can download a picture. Shram Shanecharaya Namaha. Shram Shanecharaya Namaha. Shram Shanecharaya Namaha. So that's Saturn. Are you happy now, Chia? Thanks for the further clarification. You use sesame oil. Yeah. So what you're doing is you have a separate, you can put the sesame oil in the ghee burner. That's fine. Are you saying to put it in with the ghee? You can mix it. That's okay. But why not give him his own? It's simple. You just have like a little dish like this, right? It's not too big. And then, yeah, the Saturn kit comes with the brass dish for the hydration. Put your Saturn on. I guess they give you a Shivalingam or some. What did they give you in the Saturn kit? Shivalingam. Yeah. So I have one. What am I asking? Okay. So yeah. So you can put the Shivalingam in there, or you can just put your two, like your wick like that, and then you just take a little bit of the sesame seeds, and I don't have the oil handy, but then you just pour the oil in there just like that, and then you just light it, and then put this dish, because it will drip, so put this dish, this metal plate on a dish, right? And then you won't make a mess. So you can use that brass dish from Saturn. Why not? Because you're using it for Saturn anyways. Yeah. And you can get a silver bowl, a Saturn bowl for sure. All right. So I think we've shared enough about what's happening today, Saturday, 4th moon, and getting into the power and the energy of Ganesha. And then in a couple of days on the 6th moon, you can get the blessings of Lord Muruga, and then moving forward from there, it's looking like, oh, we have Ratha Saptami. My goodness. Ratha Saptami is a power time to get blessings from the sun. So go and you can read about that on Astrobed Pillai Center. And that's going to happen on the 7th moon. Saptami means 7. So the 23rd is a Tuesday here in Eastern Standard Time, according to the Astrobed calendar for the US. Eastern Standard Time, and that is a time where the sun represents the soul. So you want to connect with the sun's energy, and then get the blessings to come alive in the soul. So you shine like the sun. And when you have that sun energy, that gets the brightest star, right? And then it gives you health and vitality, and it makes you to be an authority in your life without having to do too much. You just shine. And people just go, wow, you're something special. And then wherever the sun is in your astrology chart, that area will light up. And then that will also be food for your soul, or insight for your soul. So that's going to be happening too. And then 8th moon is always associated with the demon fighting goddesses that are always protecting. So the protector goddess is also Kala Bhairava, but not so much on the waxing cycle. He's more the waning cycle. He's the god of time. And then getting into the 9th and 10th moon, and then we'll meet each other again on the next Saturday. The star that's coming out in a few hours later on this afternoon, early evening, or depending on where you are in the world, Purvabhadra. Purvabhadrapada is Dr. Pillai's star. Now, what's the significance of that? His star energy, because he's the teacher, he's our master of our soul at this point in our soul's journey. And what the star energy of Purvabhadrapada means to raise up or light up our intelligence. And it's perfect, as we mentioned last week. This is the month of Thai, and Thai is the month that we are going to experience enlightenment. So we need more light to be intelligent. If you shed light on the matter, you can see more, and you understand more about what it is that you want to do, and then you have clarity, and then you can also solve your problems much easier when someone enlightens you. They light up your understanding of what's going on. So the divine is the big light that's coming in, and that will trickle down and filter through every area of our life. So it can also be an intense period if you're not doing your spiritual practices. So do your spiritual practices. These are the spiritual practices for this week. Simple. Put it into practice and talk to me about it later, or share with us later. Yeah, Chidambaram is correct spelling, Diha. Lovely. So, so that's, we're going to get the blessings of Dr. Pillai. So let's experience that right now. We'll get into a meditation where you feel the presence of eternity. There's something going on. You're shutting your eyes, and then when you close your eyes, then it's like the curtains go down and you're shutting the outdoors out. You're shutting everything out. So if you can, if you're driving, don't shut your eyes. If you fall asleep, that's okay. You will go deep. Your soul wants to do that. So get into a state of receptivity, and then know that you're going to experience a tremendous amount of energy to dissolve or diffuse or detonate, blow it up karma. It's going to be dispersed. And that's because Ganesha's energy is readily available today, this 4th moon. Dr. Pillai's energy is going to be really powerful. You might have a vision. You might be able to see him in your mind's eye. You might get a message. You might get some feeling that you're connecting more at the soul level, the heart and soul level. And there'll be less resistance because Ganesha's cracking us open like a coconut. And then the teacher can come in, the soul teacher comes in and teaches the soul, which is within this coconut shell, right? So crack us open and then get the juice, the the meat and the juice of the insides, and then it gets transformed because he's going to raise it. When you raise it, raise the energy, raise the intelligence, you purify. It's an automatic. So there might be some cleansing, some tears, and then we're going to put Lord Muruga's veil into our backbone and our brain. Again, this is the veil for those of you who are joining or you were sleeping. Then you're going to have that in your consciousness. So you have this image. So when we're going through the process, it will just become activated. And then really feel the third eye opening. And that's what we want to ask for. Dr. Pillai's blessings, and he's readily available to do that. Today, especially. Coming in. We're coming to it. So right now we're in Satyabhishak Nakshatra, and that's 100 positions. It's related to 100 positions, and also the god Varuna. He wants everything to be in harmony and balance. He calms the mind, calms the celestial waters within us, because we're mostly made of water, right? So his energy will bring the healing of 100 physicians. So if you can't find a resolve for your mental, your emotional, your physical state of being, or maybe the healing of the planet disturbs you, that we're not healing or healing each other, why all the different cultures and religious beliefs of the people who hold those strong beliefs that we have to destroy each other, maybe we can ask those physicians to come and pump some good energy, good thoughts into the space, and leave it to the divine to decide how that's all going to roll out. But that's what we can do. We can open the door for something that is higher minded to resolve, instead of complaining and making excuses and so on. So that's available. And that's what we'll get into, and then we'll wrap it up with some something that will come in. I never know what's going to happen in this meditation, but whatever happens, it will be the right thing, because we're here to open up the doors, and in that eternal moment, those divine beings are going to come through and do what they need to do for all of us. So get into a state of receptivity, close off your doors, your phones if you can, and then you can close your eyes. You can listen to the rest of the discussion that will be posted to the Practice Room blog, YouTube. And then also you'll receive an email with those links as well. So check that out in your inbox. And then those of you who are going to stay, this is a part of the call where we get to have our discussion, shared experiences from any of the teachings that were shared today or previously, or you have an experience from the meditation. You can continue to post to, so Roger just posted to the chat here on Zoom, that was amazing, exclamation, repeated. Yeah, it always is, right? So amazing that we have the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai to take us into that deep state. We're all here to experience the soul's desires to be fulfilled. And then Dr. Pillai knows how to awaken that to the level of consciousness that you can manifest those desires. And then also in the process, having incredible, tremendous peace and fulfillment and maybe enlightenment. Did anyone have anything that they wanted to share about that? Beyond words, Linda is saying. Yeah, So sometimes it is. It's like, oh my God, I don't even know what's happening. It's just so yummy. It's like when we go, you gaze into the eyes of a newborn baby. That's a miracle. You know, we're just like looking at it, staring at it, and just wow. Or somewhere very sacred like the Grand Canyon. You just, it's so, you can't even say what it is, you know. Or you have a profound experience in your life where it was a near-death experience, or some tremendous challenge happened. Maybe someone died who's close to you, or you have lost a job or a relationship, or some tragedy has happened suddenly, and you're just in this state of awe. It's so much is going on, you can't even say. I like meditation because it can put you into that state of awe that's quite lovely. Although some meditations can be a bit tumultuous, a bit revealing, because those thoughts that are so intense, they're keep hammering away. So it's so important to get in that stream of consciousness that will go faster and faster, so that those thoughts they'll bounce off. So they'll get less energy, less attached to you. So be in your stream of your highest consciousness. And the light that you radiate will be like a huge bug light, and whatever's bugging you will just zap it. I love bugs. I mean, I'm so sorry, bugs. But, you know, that's just a metaphor for you to kind of grasp that idea. If you're just like this light beam, no thoughts that are negative are going to penetrate. They will get busted. They will get destroyed. They will just, you know, zapper. Linda's saying yes, because when I look at the baby looking back, when we look at the baby looking back at you, it's God, and wow, yes, absolutely. It's not too far from heaven. One day, right? For a baby, a couple of weeks or months. Yankee is saying, I felt all the divine beings invoked in the meditation working on me and clearing me. Great experience. Thanks to Babaji and Sutrija. Okay. I can only say thanks to Babaji. I can be the deliverer, the messenger for everyone to receive the blessings. And if you can feel his energy, then I'm out of the way. Awesome. Karen is saying, I experienced that meditation. Inside was shaking like something was being zapped, sounding like a bug zapper. There you go. And you might even have those kinds of experiences too. As the third eye is opening, it can be like a nut cracking. In fact, last week, oh my God, it did happen. I heard a cracking. As I was invoking Ganesha, look at this. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hairline crack. It was just sitting on my desk, and it went, and that's when I was invoking Ganesha right at the beginning. This is Ganesha. Do we need a sign? No. Well, this is the sign. So you do this technology, and I have these coconuts and limes, you know, at my desk. I have a dish of limes. I'm getting down there. I have to fill it up again. So there's wee little limes and then a bigger lime. Lemons work too. If you have lemons, you can use lemons. Limes are cheaper. They're less expensive, but as effective. oh, but this coconut, look at it cracked. And why I was just drawn to that again was because someone had said they felt zapping. And that you can also, in your third eye, you can feel the pituitary pineal cracking like a nut. And when this was many years ago, and I felt this cracking in my head, I thought I had broken my bones in my skull or something. It was so loud, and it was like a bone was breaking. And I was doing a very deep meditation, intensive practice that Dr. Pillai was experimenting with some of us. And it just cracked. And I was like, oh my God. You know, and then after that, I couldn't even say, oh my God, because I just was in this altered state. So the pineal gland can get calcified, be like a rock. And you can have a cracking, a physical cracking, and because it's internally, you know, everything is just amplified, right? So don't freak out. That could happen. Sandhya is saying it's great as always. I was feeling warm at the end. Yeah, the warmth can be, the Kundalini is rising, but not only that, this is the perfect time for it to support its rising. The Kundalini is the life force, the goddess energy that's coming from the base of the spine, and it allows you to create. Just know that. People don't know what they want to create. Just who cares? Just get the Kundalini rising, and those thoughts will come to you that will be very creative, and the how, what, where, when, why will come as well. So keep doing your meditation and have that Kundalini moving. And because we're feeling that energy moving, like when you're moving your body, you're moving this spiritual apparatus inside of you. The veil is like 1,000 suns. The sun is really bright now, as it's, we're going to be celebrating the Ratha Saptami, which is honoring the sun. The sun is the soul. So that energy is really strong. Then we have this month of Thai, which is all about enlightenment. So when there's like tons of light coming in, the grace light's coming in, you're on fire. Then you have Dr. Pillai's birth star, which we're coming into today, brings that energy up even more, and it intensifies it so that it will purify. So heat, yeah. Warm, Karen is saying, I experienced on another occasion, heard and felt the bones cracking in the head. So grateful, so thankful. Oh, your birthday is tomorrow, January 21st. Dr. Pillai's birth star extends into tomorrow morning. Happy birthday, Karen. When is your star, Karen, if you know your star? Can post it on this Revati. So Revati star happened, no, it's coming up on the 22nd. So you get to have a couple of birthdays, Karen. And anyone who has their birthday, their biological birthday that they're going to celebrate, like the day they were born, so with Karen, it's the 21st. And it looks like Karen is going to have a lot of blessings, not only from Dr. Pillai, but also from the fifth moon, which is the goddess. So you're going to have a lot of goddess blessings. So do your Shreem Braziz. That will really support it. And ask for your birthday wish, your money miracle. And then that Revati is starting, at least here in Eastern Standard Time, on around 9:30 at night on Monday. So you get to celebrate it on 2 days. So your real birthday, your spiritual birthday, your soul birthday, which will be getting so much blessings, is going to be more celebrated on the 22nd and into the 23rd for you. So happy birthday, Karen, or anyone who's celebrating their birthday. So you look for your star, your birth star, and the star that's the time period that's closest to your birthday in that month, then that is, and it's mid-month to mid-month. Remember, the calendar Vedic calendar goes from mid-month to mid-month. So if you're a little bit confused about that, you can write in and ask. Or you can go get your astrology consultation. It's so important, everyone. Everyone's freaked out. Oh, the astrologers are going to tell me something bad. Yes, they pretty much do all the time. Why? Because they want you to be aware of it so you don't trip up. You know? So you don't have to trip out. You can just, or flip out. You can just take that as, okay, there's a storm coming. And I have to get ready. I have to be prepared for that. Or there's a drought coming, or there's low finances, or high finances but low health, or low health, high health but no finances, or relationships are going to be dodgy, So you just go to the astrologer because they're going to look in. They don't know you. They just are looking at your soul's journey, what could be. So they're like giving you the forecast. And then that means you really want to do your spiritual practices because it's your soul saying, hey, this is what I need. I need you to put attention on this area, this area, this area. And then they give you a remedy. You can follow it. You can do your practices even with more understanding. So you can ask the astrologer, hey, if your birthday's coming up, when do I celebrate my spiritual birthday? When is my star that's closest to my birthday, my biological birthday? When is that happening? And how do I celebrate it? And there's a great service. If you're an AstroVet or Pillai Center member, you get 40% off. It's awesome. So it's like God's gift to you. You get a discount plus you get great services and you will feel it. You can get a birthday gift and that's so nice and everything, and then it's over and done, right? You put the thing away, or you don't, if you got something to wear, you don't wear it all the time. But at the level of the soul, oh my God, that gets awakened. That soul's intelligence gets awakened, and it's the gift that keeps on giving to you and everyone else around you, because you're happy for no reason, which is awesome. Yeah, so happy birthday, Karen. Sunny is saying, thank you, my food is blessed. I always seem to be cooking when we get into meditation. Can't wait to repeat your sun visualization with my kids. Aw, that's awesome. Yeah, so the sun makes us to feel so, without the sun, we won't have anything, right? It'll be dark, cold, and nothing will be growing, and we'll be miserable. We'll have no energy, and the bodily systems won't work. So the sun is really, really important on a biological, from a biological perspective, and also the earth plane needs the sun's light for everything to grow, so that we can consume it. With intelligence, of course. So someone is saying here, just scrolling up on the chat, I experienced a being in my heart chakra with swords cutting cords. Then I had the thought, I don't deserve. Okay, Liz, great. So remember these, if you're kind of new to the teachings and you're saying, oh my goodness, this doesn't go, these beings, these archetypes, these statues, these images, it goes against my religious upbringing. That's fine. Let it go against it for some time, because you're going to be needing a little friction for you to grow. If we don't have any friction in life, we won't grow. No growth. Okay, it's simple. So, and then just let the beliefs just go, as in leave it alone. Let it be, right? Then do the practice, and when these archetypes come, they are being that has a form and a shape. So you are a being, and you have a form and a shape. So we don't want to judge ourselves, and we don't want to judge anybody else, just like we don't want to judge my God is better than your God. Have that conversation, and look what happens. wars, right? So you don't have to have any conflict. It's totally up to you. If you want to have conflict, it's good for the friction. Again, growth will happen anyways. So when the being, that intelligence comes and you have a vision or an image comes where it's cutting away, that's where you, to me, it sounds, Liz, like you're cutting away that thought that says, I don't deserve. So cut it away. Just throw it out. Who cares what it's attached to, right? It doesn't serve you. It deserves you. Deserve, right? It deserves you. So you want to have it to serve you. So who's coming to serve you is the guy who severs, right? So everything is light and sound, even words make sense. You know, how we form words and the understanding or the meaning behind the words can be there another meaning and another meaning and another meaning until you get to the point of the being. So that's what we want to do, is we want to be in that state where, come on in, do what you got to do, chop it all up. And if negativity is coming up from you, good. It's just like when you scrub something in the sink, a dish, and the whole water gets dirty. Oh my God, how many times have we done that, right? And we're just like, man, I just filled this tub up. I got to dump it again, right? Because you don't want other dishes to get all the glasses or whatever. So that's what we're like. We're mostly water, right? We're this head to toe thing, unit we call ourselves, is mostly water. So anything that gets into it is going to get all diluted, right? So the divine comes in and gets the spotlight, the searchlight, and then churns it all up. So it's all spinning up to the surface. And whatever sludge is at the bottom of our being or in hidden closets, those skeletons that we think we've locked away, or the sludge and drudge thoughts, which are kind of those low vibrating thoughts like I don't deserve, I'm not good enough, I am angry, I'm upset, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that. Those are low sludgy thoughts. Stuck, yuck. Behavioral patterns happen after the thought, right? You just can't even act. The only action you can take is to be stuck. That's not even action, it's just stuck. Oh man, get rid of the muck and stuck, right? So you just call on the divine, and the divine churns everything up, chops it all up, so that it's easier to dispel. So you don't have big clumps of it coming out of any orifice that might be painful. So we want to get the divine stream of conscious. Meditation keeps us in this stream of consciousness. Meditation is not just when you shut your eyes. That's when you can go deep. Meditation is now. Where are you paying attention? Are you paying attention to your nostrils? Just try that. Pay attention to your nostrils. Right now, it's easy. And then just imagine this air going up the nostrils and hitting the spot between your two eyebrows and activating this whole area. It doesn't matter if you're breathing air in or out or fast or slow. You won't, if you notice your lung breathing, your nostril breathing, it's slowed down. Because your attention is on the subtle air, the prana, the life force. It's activating this opening of the divine. And then the whole body is getting filled up. So that's meditation. Then put your attention on your eyeballs. And you just have your attention on your eyeballs. And you can have your eyes just, your eyelids are half open and your eyes are gazing straight ahead. And you're not glaring, you're just gazing, and you'll feel light coming in the eyeballs and cleansing them. There's so much light coming in mine now, I have to blink, otherwise I'll be tearing and crying. Then feel your heart when you're doing this. Feel your third eye. It's not taking too much to be in a stream of consciousness that is so easy to come in and out of. So that's what you want to be when you're studying with a master. The master can be in this world in one moment and then out into the other world, inner world, outer world, higher states of consciousness. You can do it too. That's your birthright. That's all of our birthright. It's our soul's journey that it wants to master. Mastery isn't an end point. Just like enlightenment isn't an end point. It's a process, and it's ongoing, and it's forever, and it's eternal, and it will take lifetimes to do whatever it needs to do. Even the gods are evolving. Jesus is evolving. You know, if he was around during the time we have internet, can you imagine? Right? So his consciousness is there, and it's exploding across the internet. Physical guy's gone. But if he was here now, he would be doing something way different. So consciousness has to evolve. Mastery has to keep evolving as we evolve time after time. So it's really something that you can explore that will bring some intrigue or mystery into your life. And you won't be, you know, scratching your head. What's this all about? Because the divine will show you, and no one can negate that. No one can say, you did not see that. You did not hear that crack in your head. You did not do this. You did not do that. Your coconut on the table didn't crack when you called Ganesha. They can say whatever they want to say. And you'll say, okay, thank you. And you'll go on with your life. Because you don't want any conflict. It's like the Buddha. The guy comes and spits and kicks the Buddha. He doesn't know who the Buddha is. He says, hey man, you're a king. Now look at you. You're just like a beggar. And now you're saying you know something. And the guy's having a fit. The students around, the devotees around the Buddha are like freaking out. Oh my God. Finally, one guy says, I can't take it anymore. Get lost. He kicks the guy out. The Buddha is just so calm. He's not saying anything. Then he says to the student, you know, you got so upset. Why did you get so upset? Oh man, he was kicking you. He was spitting on you. He was yelling at you. I couldn't take it anymore. Everybody was rolling on the floor in agony for you, and you're just all blissed out. The highest teaching is, he says, you've got to work on that, tells the students. You have to work on that. I'm here to show you. And then what he says, this guy comes back, the crazy guy who's kicking and spitting at him, calling him names and so on. Oh my God, the students are freaking out. The Buddha's just sitting there, welcoming him with open arms. Come sit with me, my friend. The guy is on his face, crying at his feet. I'm so sorry. When I went away, I got enlightened about the situation. And I am just so feeling so bad. He says, hey, don't feel bad. I'm glad we got to get this over with in this lifetime. Now we're finished. We good? Okay. Then he became his devotee. So that's how we want. When there's conflict, you just know, okay, thanks for coming, karma, and we'll just do a karma light and exit stage left. Right? But the divine, you don't have to run away or avoid it. That something miraculous will happen. And some understanding, some deep cleansing will reveal itself, and then there'll be some profound insight And you will know, okay, this is finished now with this person. The person doesn't have to go in your life. Everybody wants to kick out their relationships or run away from them. Wherever you go, there they are again. Oh my God. That's what it is. No, it's not to say that if you have very terrible situations, you've tried everything, then, get out. But do it with grace and ease and blessings. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're done our karma. You don't say it like that, but internally you say it like that. Okay. You're free, I'm free. We don't have to come back in another lifetime and do this all over again, thinking we can do it better. Why wait? Do it better now. Let the divine do it. The divine will decide. The divine is you. It's you. So when you're ready to deal with your karma, you will deal with it. It's not my karma is bad and I can't do it. It's when you're ready, you will do it. The right time will be if you can be vibrating in divine consciousness all the time. Ping, like a bug light, your karma can go to that bug, whatever is bugging you. Whether it stays or goes, who cares? Like the Buddha. Because wherever you go, there you are. All right, are there any other questions or comments on chat? As we go through hard times during Saturn period, how do we connect with Saturn at the soul level besides the rituals? Please explain. Yankee. So if you have not had an astrology consultation, I'll say it again, get one. And then if Saturn is showing up, maybe you're going through a bad Saturn transit, or you have a Saturn placement in one of the 16 divisional charts in your Vedic horoscope, because we're just looking at the birth chart. That's why you need an astrologer. They studied this. You can get a degree in this and a PhD in astrology. So it's not a pseudoscience, it is a science. So it is something that people immerse themselves into, just like a surgeon would immerse themselves in years and years of study to be able to go in and find that neuron in your brain and make sure that it gets repaired and doesn't kill you in the process or maim you or, paralyze you or some crazy thing. I don't know how they do it. It's amazing. I used to work in an operating room. I was always amazed. Oh my God, these guys. They have the hand of God. They are God in that sense, and they know that this is not me. This is the divine. To be able to have these people recover from things that are just like, whoa. And I bet if I questioned them now or surveyed them now, they'd probably be, oh yeah, I know this Hanuman, he does the impossible, or Ganesha. You never know. Or Christ, right? They know it's a higher power that's coming through. So when you're going through a hard time, sometimes you got to get a surgeon to go in. So an astrologer is like going to your GP, your general practitioner, your doctor, you get a checkup. They do give you some stuff to do. So you do that thing. So a mantra, right? You do the rituals. But if you got to go in and get surgical removal of that stubborn seed that is sprouting this negativity, and Saturn is just going in and saying, do you want this? Do you want the weeds to be spreading throughout your garden? Do you? And then you'll say, I'm tired of it. Then you got to get in there and pull it out. So if the mantras aren't doing it, if the meditations aren't doing it, if the fire labs aren't doing it, if whatever it is that you're doing is not doing it, then you have to get surgical removal. So you can have Saturn will just pointing. This is what it is. Get it out of you. So as much as we don't like surgical procedures, sometimes they're necessary. So you can go to, send me an email, SutritaPillaiCenter.com. I think we've already chatted, Yankee, in the past. Yeah. Or anyone who has Saturn issues. And you come through advisory services. We don't offer it to the general public, although everyone here is general public. So you have to get screened. We have to see if it's a good fit for you to get the surgery. So he will root out Lord Hanuman Das, who works with Lord Hanuman, or Lord Hanuman works with him, and he points and he says, this is what's causing the problems. And then you immerse yourself into an 18-month program. Why 18 months? Because you can't take it all out at once. You would be a mess. Just like a surgeon wouldn't go if you had a car accident and you had cancer and you had all kinds of things going on. You would just do little surgeries. You wouldn't do, full on extract it all. There'd be too much on the system. So send me an email, SutritaPillaiCenter.com. Yankee, you've already talked to me about advisory. So if you're interested in doing that, you might want to explore it and get that surgical removal.
Hi, Sutrita.
Hi, Sunny. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for that beautiful meditation. While I was cooking, I felt the sun all in me. So I can't wait to do it with my kids, as I said. I have a question about, I can feel like, what can I do when I feel an energy coming toward me and then it's merging with me? And I'm like, I don't want this energy, but I feel it merging with my brain or with my body.
Yeah, so it depends on the energy. See, this is the thing, and being on the spiritual path, we don't know what good energy is or what bad energy is, right?
Well, I knew this energy. I didn't want it. I was like, well, one time I saw it happen, I guess it's happened during my life, but I guess like now that you've enlightened me more, I've had an energy come toward me where I saw what it was. I didn't want it, but it came through and I felt it go up to the light, and it was Dr. It was good. It just went up to the light, but then there was another energy, and I was going to see my parents, and all of a sudden I felt this energy come toward me, and I'm like, oh, I don't want this energy, and it's slowly moving in toward my soul. Oh my goodness. I went into the mirror. I couldn't do my hair. My hair looked just like my mother. I couldn't do anything. I looked just like her. I felt all this energy, and I didn't know how to I felt it merging in my aura into my soul. I do my protection mantra in the morning, but I didn't know what to do with this. How could I get it off me? I just felt it merging like there was nothing I can do.
Yeah, it's great sharing, Sunny. And here's the thing, is that in order for us to understand about energies and who's coming and what is this energy, is it good, is it not so good? So you just sharing about your parents, the first thought that came to me about the energy was the ancestors, some restless spirit. And then you said your parents, and I went, awesome. So it may not be your parents if your parents are alive. It can be, that energy that's coming through the maternal or the paternal lineage. So that spirit that's restless is going to be in the space when you guys are meeting, or just before your meeting, or even after your meeting, because it's that energy that's around you, and it's part of your genes. So it's a part of what makes you who you are, and what makes up who your parents are, and what makes up who all your, anyone you're related to. And even if you have, you don't know who your parents are, your biological parents are, but there's a behavior that comes through the genes as well. As Dr. Pillai says, there's spiritual genes. So you don't know if there's some restless spirit that's associated with someone you don't even know, not related to you, but they're coming through your lineage, and they're going to jump in your parents, or jump in you, or jump in your kids, or, jump in your work colleagues, and you're going to say, oh my God, they're just like my mother, or I'm just like my mother, or I'm just, you'll relate it in that way, an ancestral restless spirit. And you don't want it coming in, because then it's going to start to live in you, come alive in you. Again, it's not like this a physical person comes in and inhabits you. It's already in you. We're already these beings, particles of light and intelligence, and then when they solidify, they create some storyline called you. So how you can best address it is keep doing the Tarpanam, Sunny. And then these guys, the limes, and if you can get the spear, get that. And then for that restless spirit, it seems, you know, maybe, I don't know what your planetary influences are, but get those looked at and then start to pray to the planets, the overlords. And then if you need to get ancestral relief, you can do it through, there's a year-long Tarpanam program that's offered through Pillai Center Ashtabed. So you can do that and then everything gets done on your behalf. You can also do Tarpanam on new moons, or like Tayamavasya, Taipusam is coming up, and that again is a good time to pray to get rid of that. But if it's stuck, it doesn't know its way out. And you can say, oh, you know, I'm all love and I'm peace and I'm happiness and I want you to go to the light, and they're not going because they're stuck. They're just in distress. They don't know. So it's a very negative experience, and they only know how to keep getting your attention through negative feedback because they're not happy being stuck in the earth plane. They want to go to higher planes, but they don't know the vehicle to get out, and you're not able to do it by Tarpanam or whatever. Then again, it's like you got to go to the specialist. So if that is something that it's going to persist and you see it and it's not going, then please contact me and we will have a conversation.
Okay, I'll do that because I can feel it moving in my face and
yeah.
Just like...
So Sunny, you know what you can do too is home remedy. Stick your feet in a bucket of warm water and then just put some, you know, Himalayan salt or some sea salt, something like that. And the salt will draw that energy out of you. And then you can say a mantra, gum, or any mantra that comes to you. Maybe play the Sheraba chant, or, you know, you can do the Hreem, H-R-E-E-M, and put it in your third eye as you're doing that. And that higher intelligence will create like a force field of energy that does the impossible. Because Hreem is the highest self-esteem. It's the goddess. It's also Hanuman, Lord Hanuman. So he's the one who takes care of restless ancestors. He also does the impossible that you can't do. So you just stick your feet in a bucket, pail or whatever, pan or dish of water, and then put the salt and then do that mantra Hreem or gum or Namat Shivaya or Sarvanubbhava, any you know, strong protective force. Hreem is easy because it's a multitasker for those kind of entity attacks. And then you just dump the water after 15 minutes. So go into your bathroom, take a break, you know, and then just do that.
Great, I will definitely do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then just be in touch, Sunny, if it's something that won't leave. We need it to go because it will make us to just not only feel like this is in us, it's like, oh my God, I feel low energy. I'm just fighting this. I can't even focus on what I want to do. So all your energy is used up in a battle, and I don't want to fight anybody. Life is a battle. Everybody's fighting their battles every day. This is why. You know, you think that if you have money and all this thing, you can stop this stuff? No. It's spirit. It's going to do what it's going to do and make it even worse for you if you have more money, right? Anything else, Sunny, or you're good? Oh, I think you're gone. Yeah.
Hi, Sucharita. This is Janice.
Hi, Janice. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for today. You know, I think you said today was a day for compassion. So I really have been wanting to ask you some more about this because, you know, I've been someone that has not felt a lot from, you know, from meditation and things like that. But what I'm probably experiencing the most, like, heart opening is when I feel just guided to help people on the streets. And so I know that Dr. Pillai has said that that's the way to experience God's grace. And it's been interesting because I just find myself, and I think it's my higher consciousness, it's not really from an ego perspective, like I'm thinking like I'm going to help somebody. It's just like I'm moved to just go to the person. And I just experienced, like, from this particular woman who was very young. I mean, she could have just been like anyone like us, like on the streets. She was very articulate, but yet it was a super cold day. I mean, like bitterly cold. And I was freezing, and even in my long down coat. And I just happened to catch, you know, see her. I went a different way getting home. And I saw somebody under a bunch of comforters, and I went back. So anyway, what I want to ask about is, because I'll just say a couple things about what I've learned over my years is that, you know, everybody comes here with their soul's path. And so I used to be somebody that always wanted to go help, but then I've been really focusing on myself because I don't want to feel like I'm saving people or anything like that. So I'm just curious, but it's just amazing what I receive back from offering assistance to the people on the streets. And I was also happened to be reading in a magazine. There was a woman who was helping. She was a doctor, and she just went to help, you know, with the people in Puerto Rico. And I read in the article, she experienced, it's like almost like a high. And she even went to counseling afterwards because, you know, she just wanted to understand it more. So that's really what I'm trying to understand, that you know, each person comes with their soul's path, and I don't want to be interfering, but yet why is it about feeding the hungry that really that Dr. Pillai says offers God's grace? So that's kind of my question. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great shared experience. And I was just looking at the chart or the calendar, and the third moon, and not sure where you are. I know where you are, Janice, but not sure where anyone else is in the world. But if you still are in a third moon, it's a window of time where you can get a lot of grace and blessings from Lord Shiva. So he will just, he's the most compassionate being. And then he will balance everything out. So if you know what to do on that third waxing moon, which is to be charitable, which is to feed someone or give some donation of your time, your money, your resources, your energy, then he's going to be very pleased. So being in the third moon is a great window of time. We've gone into the fourth moon here early in the morning, although, you know, there's not any hard and fast deadlines or parameters, you know, because the energy is going to go beyond time. So I don't want you to feel discouraged. Oh man, I missed the third moon. You're still in it, right? So get the grace and blessings by doing something that's charitable. If you can't do it in your community, or you don't know anyone in real need, then you can do it through giving a donation through your favorite charity or Tripura Foundation to support the kids and the elderly and all the projects there. And what you'll feel is the grace will come, even if you don't know where it's going. It's you. The moment you're going to do it, you'll feel your heart expanding. Why? Because the God in you is saying, help another human being. You're on the spiritual path. And yes, there are times where you just cocoon and you just pay attention to yourself to regain your energy that you lost by getting depleted. So one of the checklists that can be for anyone is to you check it off, you tithe. So you give part of your earnings, and you give of your time, and you give of your energy. As you're evolving, there's beings who are gods and spiritual masters, and they did all this great stuff on the earth plane, and Lord Shiva said, well, too bad you don't get to go to the next level because you didn't feed enough people, or you didn't give enough of your money, or you didn't give enough of your time. But hey, wait a minute, I'm this evolved dude. Well, there you are. You're just in your ego. I'm telling you. It's a checklist of what it is that you need to do. And so the souls that come and they are in need, that's what they're here to do, is actually for our benefit. Really. And then they get to, God bless you. They always say, God bless you when you do something good for them. Even if you're just clicking online, you'll feel the blessings. And then you'll see the faces of those kids that you chose, or the elderly, who whatever project it is, and you'll just feel the message coming through at the level of the soul. So if you're trying to understand what feeding does, feeding keeps the body alive, right? So if you're so famished and there's no food, you can't even think. Your brain can't function. You're just like a zombie. You're in a vegetative state. You can live for some time on some water, but food will sustain this physical form, and it will also give the food the glucose for the brain to think and do something to help themselves. So that might be all that they need, is the food to be able to think, and then to be able to take care of themselves for that time period. So your soul will have that calling, and it will be compelled at that period of time to go do that thing. And then that soul who needs to receive will be there to get it. And it will be the gift that keeps on giving. So that's the spirit in motion. It's like a movie, it's like a scene, right? So if you're missing that scene, a part of your life in the movie of you, then you got to insert it, right? And so if you haven't, then catch up. Do it during these times. Is that helpful at all, Janice?
Oh yeah, I love that, Sucharita, and I'm so glad you said the part about the blessing. They always do that, and
yes.
That's why I feel so blessed. I mean, these people. I mean, I could give the same money or something to somebody at my workplace, and I don't get that blessing, but I always get such an amazing blessing. It's just incredible. So yeah, it's kind of really amazing. So I do love that spirit in action, and I didn't know I was going to do that today, but I love to know when I'm in tune, because it just happened. I just began to walk around in an area after shopping because there was time to do it, and there weren't too many people, but there were quite a few people that were in need, and so that I was able to do that today as well. So. Yeah, well, thank you for that, because I read an amazing book that I got recently, and it takes place in India. It was written back in 1955, called Nectar in a Sieve, and in that book, it actually describes, it's a novel, but it describes what it's like to be hungry. But it's also, I guess the reason I was asking the question is because these peasants, in India, they did go hungry at times, but they were also so loving, and they were able to, make a good life for themselves as well, because in fact, sometimes it seemed like a better life than what was happening, the industrialization with all the noise and pollution. So So I don't know. I think there's just something I was kind of wondering, but you know, I guess what you're saying, it's you definitely need food to eat. So that's the reason. Okay. Yeah. But I just it's just hard. It's just amazing though, because I give to other charities and things like that, but until I actually went out and I gave to Tripura, but until I really went out and one-on-one, at least in my own experience, that's where I'm really experiencing. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Dennis. I'm really sorry, everyone. I have to wrap it up. I'm getting a ping that they want to use Zoom. So I really appreciate everyone who has participated here today, and thank you so much for your feedback on the chat and also over Zoom. God bless you all. Have an amazing week ahead, and listen to the meditation again if you want. Add it too, but it's already there. It's going to grow. That consciousness is going to grow inside of you. You're going to see these divine beings. The way of being is going to be activated through the blessings of these divine archetypes that are awakened up to a new level and guiding you accordingly. So be spontaneous, be spiritual, be happy, be serving, and be deserving. And we'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.